And we're back. The first day of summer vacation is a disappointment. I woke up, water came down from the leaden sky in biblical proportions. I was optimistic at the time. A quick summer shower, I thought, torrents of rain for a few minutes, then it's gone. No such luck. Rainwater is relentlessly pouring down from the blue-gray sky outside, streaming down the glass of my window in small brooks and rivers and gathering together to form miniature ponds on the walkways. Just like it has done for the past 2.5 hours. So I've been half-assedly cleaning up in between, half-assedly reading a book, packing my stuff on the side when I get bored of the first two. The weather drags my spirits pretty down too, making it harder to do anything properly. Something bumping quite loudly against my door rouses me from my apathy. I hope it's not Kenji and his crazy indoors bullying Ellie. I hear no more sound from the corridor until I walk to the door and open it. Rin. I wish seeing her would evoke some more emotion in me, but for one, I'm too surprised that she came to see me, and for two, she is soaking wet. Her uniform shirt is drenched, and she is standing in a self-created puddle. Droplets of rainwater are dripping from her short bangs and sliding down her nose until they fall down from the tip. One by one. Hi. How are you feeling? Medium normal. The relative questionability of her statement aside, she sure doesn't look too good. You're all wet. It's because I come from outside. Do you know it? Why'd you be outside? It's raining buckets out there if you haven't noticed. I haven't. It's raining pretty hard, though. I was on a walk. Is this what you call wallowing in self-pity? Do you think I'm pitiful? No, I implied that you think you are. I'm not. The rain is not a sad thing. Don't you ever walk in the rain? I do, but only with proper equipment, like an umbrella. Well, how is she going to carry an umbrella? You just need to imagine you have a blue umbrella with white straps. Might be tough when rain is falling on my head. Just imagine harder. Yeah, she definitely is back to normal. Those half-sarcastic and considerate remarks that really push my buttons even though she doesn't mean it. A vacant, spaced-out stare that always expects more than it gives. It's so very much like her. I may need to come in. I need some help with this water and clothes I'm wearing. My brain quickly solves this equation, and I stumble with my words, a stark display of contrast against Rin's easygoing self-invitation. But Rin shakes her head vehemently, causing water to sprinkle everywhere. She left. Besides, she would just worry and fuss until she could not worry or fuss anymore, which always takes a troublesomely long time. It's in fact longer than I would It's in fact longer than I want to hear her fussing, and I thought you probably are not the fussing kind. She slumps down on my desk with a squishy sound. Her silk clothes are making the desk and everything on it wet, but she doesn't care. Okay, fine, I'll help you out. I have a towel somewhere. Do you want dry clothes? Is ununiform fine? I'm taller than you. Ununiform? I'm trying to find some way that would sound grammatically correct. Everything is fine. With a little searching, I found a fresh uniform and a fluffy towel from the depths of my closet. The towel in one hand and the uniform in the other, I turned to face her in again, uncertain of the next step. There's something wrong with me, a normal guy just... Nope. Stop worrying, it's not a problem. She probably could see right through my hesitant demeanor. As if I was completely transparent to her. I pushed my anxiety away and concentrated on the 8 buttons lined on his shirt just like mine has. Only the first button is an obstacle, and after getting over it, I undo the others with slightly less shaking hands. Throwing the soaked shirt aside, I reveal Rin's pale upper body shrouded only in her light blue brassiere, which instantly reminds me of her saying it's her favorite color. I'm trying not to think too much about stuff, but it's hard not to after looking at a body with what I can only think of as mixed feelings. I don't know what to think of this, so I just watch her. Rin looks brittle. She's like a shell, a fragile thing just barely holding together. Her ribs, each of them visible under her pale skin, are moving up and down in the rhythm of her breaths. Rin always struck me as quite thin, but I realize now that the manic creative period before the exhibition opening might have caused her to lose weight. Did she eat properly and enough? Definitely not, and probably not. This ugly yet beautiful bare minimum of a human body that belongs to someone I care about is a contradiction of aesthetics in itself, oddly becoming of her. My eyes follow her collarbone to her shoulders and down her arm until the abrupt end. No, it's less than the bare minimum. I think with a passing pang of sadness and some guilt for thinking like that. But thanks for the zoom in. Thanks, game. Her arms, degenerated into almost nothing but bone and skin due to lack of use, look very short now that the long sleeves of her uniform are not covering them. To be honest, I think they look a little bit longer than they do with the sleeves on. My lack of any negative reaction makes me think that I've actually grown pretty accustomed to the various physical abnormalities of my schoolmates. I always wondered why Rin keeps her shirt sleeves long, only tying them in a simple knot at where the elbow would be. Seems a bit impractical, but then again, she is not exactly the pinnacle of practicality. Maybe she likes it, maybe it is somehow important to her, maybe there's no deeper meaning to it. I feel like asking, and almost do, but Rin's miserable state requires a higher priority of my attention. She stopped talking too after we ran out of spiky greetings. I guess there's no need for chit-chat then. I pick up the towel from the bed and wrap it around her head, rumpling it all over her hair until most of the rainwater is hopefully soaked into the fabric. She speaks from below the towel at me, looking up with impassive eyes. Looks like she wants to say something without saying it. It's that kind of a look. But I can't read what she's thinking from her face, so I just keep on fussing with the towel until around her shoulders and hair. The silence is oppressive, terrifying. Communication between us has suddenly been reduced to the movements of my hands and the towel, and Rin swaying her body to and fro. My jagged breathing and her quiet breaths, trying to find a common rhythm that is just not there. I think I can hear her heartbeats, or maybe they're mine redoubled. As I brush a rogue strand of hair aside from her ear, Rin suddenly presses her cheek against the back of my hand. The contract is electric, a jolt of current surging through me. Whether she seeks comfort, warmth, or just my touch, I wouldn't know, but I can't help touching her back, caressing her soft cheek with my hand. Now with closed eyes, she kisses me on the fingers, counting the joints with her lips. I'm saddened beyond my expressive capability. Here we are, a boy and a girl, both in love or something like that with each other. Maybe not, and yet. Something is broken. I can feel it in me and in Rin, in the way our gazes merely brush against each other, shying away from contact, in her closed, timid posture, and in my way of touching her like a china doll, afraid of shattering her delicate form. And how we are closer than we have ever been, yet I'm not feeling happy. It's like yesterday. When did tenderness and forlornness become one in the same word? Acts of affection start invoking only longing. Why did we end up like this? No, don't answer that, I'd like to say to myself, but fighting against the omniscience of self-awareness is a lost cause. Still, I am here, and Rin is here, and it feels like she might be able to solve whatever problem she has. And if she can, why couldn't I? Why couldn't we? Feels like taking that step is too much, too difficult, too uncertain. So for now, all I can do is dry her up so she won't get a cold again. I pat her head, trying to sort out the hair that refuses to be sorted out, even when wet. A pair of dark, glazed eyes follows my every movement. Pants too. She nods in answer, leans back, and spreads her legs with a grotesquely inviting gesture that makes a nasty feeling crawl up and down my spine like a bad premonition. It's not enough to sober me though, as the silence is starting to make me feel detached from myself. I move automatically without thinking, even though I should. I should talk to her about this, or at least about something. The silence is a spell, a pact that has bound us to this private world made of the dull sound of rainfall and the soft feel of her skin against my fingers. The button of her trousers is fastened tight, but opens surprisingly easily. Slipping them off is hard, mostly because she is sitting on them, with no intention of standing up to ease my task. I need to hold on, just in case something bad happens. Oh, okay, it's a good thing I looked at that, because I went back and looked at that other scene. It wasn't too special, so you didn't miss anything at the other time. Thank God I remembered to turn that on. I kneel down uncomfortably and titillating between her legs so I can quickly dry her bare feet, remembering that they are as important to her as hands are to me. As I work the towel up from her ankles, Rin brushes her thigh against my cheek and nudges the small of my back with her heel to make me come closer. I look up to meet her silent stare that was waiting for me to look up. That unassuming, expectant stare seems to say that the ball is in my court. I fleetingly brush my hand against her inner thigh. Touch makes her gasp sharply as if she was trying to hold back breathing. What if I do this then? A small kiss I place on her thigh is enough to make Rin lose her composure, to shut her eyes, to squeal almost inaudibly. Is that what you want too? Would it be alright now to take this step? What if, maybe if, hazy thoughts float somewhere in the back of my unfocused mind. Somehow this whole situation is making it hard to think, as if my head was full of cotton fluff. That's alright, it seems thinking is not something we need right now. Well, I turned that on like right in the nick of time, jeez. That was close. Yeah, I guess I'll have to go back and watch that one after. Yeah, the other scene wasn't very special. Up, okay. Oh, am I supposed to click? Present is a fleeting and vague concept at best. The moment between the past and the future? It doesn't really mean anything. Thinking too much about things that don't make sense is a waste of time. That's why living through the present is always the best option. Besides, for us who can't foresee the future and who forget the past too easily, present is really the only proof of our existence. Even though existence will go on even if you forget about it for a while, it's good to seize the day at least every once in a while. That way you can confirm that you are, in fact, alive. That whole thing was pretty anticlimactic. Oh, okay, no, never mind, it's still going. I'm pretty sure that the girl who was standing there half naked staring out of the window of my room has a much better grasp of present than I do. As for me, well, right now I'm somewhat confused by my present state since I should try to locate my shirt, not stare at Rin's butt. But I just can't stop looking at her. She's so close to the glass that her nose is probably going to leave a mark. At least her breathing does when it condenses on the rain-cooled window glass before quickly disappearing again. Jeez. My shuffling around to get dressed doesn't rouse Rin from her contemplation, which is fine, really. I don't mind the silence as much as I used to. Only after I'm almost finished with buttoning up my shirt does Rin say something, still without turning to look at me. Let's go somewhere. Where? I can only assume she has invited me and not the windowsill, but it's a fair guess. I know. What? Help me get dressed. I think today is the day. Come on, clothes. Clothes, what an impatient tone. I crouched down to pick up her bra from the floor where it had fallen, discarded in the haste of undressing and forgotten there. Yeah, thank God I definitely turned that on. Hanging it from between my fingers like a dead fish, the same hesitation that grasped me when I was undressing Rin is creeping inside my head again. Is intimacy really something that's difficult for me to handle? Come on, you got it off just fine. This is the same, but the other way around. It's like talking backwards. That's not easy. Oh. Yes, I still do me. Okay, what is that? Seems hard, but it's easy. I can't do that. Perplexed by her sudden and prodigious display of mental processing capacity, I forget to attempt reversing her gibberish back. Pretty sure I couldn't switch to talking backwards that fluidly, even with some practice. Could you repeat that? Is the mis? Got it. Fine, I'll give it a try. Rin was right, the locking mechanism is simple enough, and I get the little plastic hooks right in the third attempt. There. Zieht sich da out, Evai way one. Well, am I giving that like a Russian accent? Now you have to adjust it. What? Please stop that. I don't speak backwardese. Wait, what does that say? Backwardese. She shakes her head as if needing to banish the backwards way of thinking with a physical gesture. I know a few people who could benefit from that kind of ability. I got stuck, now I have to adjust it. Adjust? That's what I said. No, I asked what you meant. You know, so that they are fine. Oh, fine, you say? As I have no idea when her breast is supposed to be fine, I end up fumbling around her chest for a good while without really getting anywhere. Not that I would complain, but Rin does. Emmy is better at you than this. Oh, better than you at this, my bad. Her impatient tone ticks me off, even though I can't really disagree. Rin suddenly seems to be in an awful hurry. Yeah, well, excuse me. Could that be because she is a girl and can actually relate? I don't think so. She has about as much chest as you do. Oh. Harsh. With her bra and breast eventually fine, as they should, the rest of her clothes are considerably easier to put on. Rin launches towards the door, even though her shirt is not even buttoned up all the way yet. Left with little choice, I run after her. As soon as I realize that we are heading for the side entrance leading to the forest, I think I know where Rin wanted to go, although I couldn't say why she wanted to go there. Then again, I can't really assume my guess to be anywhere near correct when Rin is concerned, not even for a quite generous definition of correct. The forest behind the wall smell of rain. The last raindrops are still dripping from the wet undergrowth into the earth, despite the rain being gone for a while already. We stroll along at an unhurried pace that Rin sets, giving me time to take in the calming atmosphere. I think I can hear Rin saying hello to at least 3 different trees while she walks past them, but I ignore it, just like the trees do. She leads me to the narrow side path leading up the hilltops, so as I guessed, I peek through the canopy trying to find a rainbow, but there doesn't seem to be one. It's perfect weather for rainbows. The sun is shining low and rain has passed not too long ago. Well, whatever. Wouldn't it be, like, really muddy? Look at that. Hold on, can I? Look at that, it's a dirt path. That would be so terrible. I wouldn't want to walk through that. Like, no, we'll just go to the store. I'm not going with you all the way up here. I lower my eyes from the treetops to see the gaunt back of the girl who was climbing up the hill slowly without losing her balance. A few steps ahead of me on the path, but still within my reach. I don't think I could ever reach a rainbow. Reaching rain, it seems less impossible than it used to seem. The clear sky greets us from above the meadow clearing. The clear sky greeting us from above the meadow clearing seems vast and beautiful. A strong wind is hurting the rain clouds away from the towns to the other side of the mountains in the distance. The sight is pretty, but a speck of white flies past the edge of my peripheral vision, but when I turn to look, it's already gone. Another follows, then a third. Before I realize it, dozens of almost invisible small tufts of white are flying all around us. Look, the flowers. Ah, I see it now. A sea of dandelions that covered the hilltop on our last visit has changed over the days. Where they were bright yellow before, it is now fluffy white. Some of the flowers have already shed their seeds, but many are still waiting for a suitable gust of wind. Today, those gusts are not in short demand. Every now and then they shake the grass thoroughly, and suddenly the air is thick with dandelion seeds. One by one, the seeds separate from the flowers' heads and are lifted away. A commonplace event, but one that seems to fascinate Rin for some reason. She's turning her head from side to side, marveling at the change happening all around her as the seeds fly away. I watch them too, following the white tufts floating with the wind towards the horizon, imagining that I can see them even after they disappear from my sight. What is it? Do you love me? I snap to attention to meet her suddenly very serious face as not only looking at the flowers, anymore. What a tough question asked just like that out of the blue. Still, her bluntness compels me to answer rapidly. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe too rapidly. What does that mean? I don't know. Rin sighs, perhaps unhappy with my wishy-washy answer. I would be too. Me neither. I don't think I know much about love. It's fine, isn't it? How should I know? The shrug of her shoulder seems to say, hesitating to give a firmer answer. She stays silent for only a second too long, but even that second isn't long enough for me to think ahead. I love you. Those three words freeze me in place like a rabbit staring into headlights, but I'm not a rabbit, and I'm just staring into Rin's eyes that seem far, far too impressive for what she just let out of her mouth. Rin looks pretty serious, though, until she sticks out her tongue, frowns a little, and confuses me even more than what her words did. Why does she look so mildly unhappy? Was the confession of her deepest feelings a test to see how I would react? A test to see how she would react? It tastes weird. Taste? Yeah, so weird. She laughs, maybe nervously, or so I want to think, but stops midway when she notices how strange it sounds. Like I don't know what, I don't think there's a word for this. Rin keeps on talking as though there was no meaning behind her words, steady and careless, words dropping from the same tongue that formed the more important ones. A word for, accept. It's like, she can't. Find the words. Rin just keeps staring at me, fumbling with her words as if her brain suddenly ground to a halt. She looks awfully confused, much like how I feel right now as I wait for her to explain. But she doesn't. She just blinks a few times, the flutter of her long lashes catching my fancy because she looks like she is petrified otherwise. Until I realize what they are fighting against. So those weird tears again, not associated with sadness or happiness, not pitiable sobbing nor laughter of joy. Just tears, spontaneously and without a warning, like that one time in her classroom. Just a few of them, not enough to make a fuss about, so Rin doesn't make a move to hide them even after noticing. Rin cries, looking like she has no idea why, and somehow a great uneasiness grows in my chest when I look into her watery eyes that stare right back at me. It petrifies me, too, the shock of the incomprehensibility of the situation. I just don't know what is happening anymore. Rin, what's wrong? She shakes her head in confusion, summoning to get the words out of her mouth. Sorry. Might be a little afraid of you. The words are muttered slowly with a small voice that is as disbelieving of what it's saying as I am. What? Why? I don't know. Saying that just makes me feel like that. People cry when they are afraid, right? See, I can do it too. She's averting her gaze now, deliberately not looking at me. It bewilders me, at least as much as what she is saying. I sometimes, with you, want to run away so badly, but I can't move. It's like my legs turn into lemon panna cotta pudding, and my heart feels like it's going to explode, and... She slumps her shoulders melancholically. Has a thing like this ever happened to you? I remember the leaden sky above the frozen forest and the sound of the leafless branches clacking against each other. It's like a memory from another life. Yeah, once. My heart hurt a lot back then, too. But I thought your thing was not contagious. I shake my head and a tiny, slightly forced smile rises on my lips. The other ailment of my heart could very well be contagious, and I wouldn't care a bit. What are you afraid of? I never thought I was scary. Rin shakes her head desperately, as if knowing that the tangle inside her mind won't be undone with just that. You make me feel that I should be somewhere else than me. It's a scary thing. It happens when you are being nice to me, like yesterday. I never know what to do at times like that. It's hard. Her voice is barely audible, a whispered admission of something that is too embarrassing to even think, not to mention to say aloud. Rin has never been one to be embarrassed, so she does utter it aloud, only timidly as if by instinct. I want to do something, but I don't know if this me can. For a moment we just stare at each other as if waiting for the other to say something. Ah, you're so stupid. Rin's lips taste salty and scared against mine. As I grasp her into an embrace, I feel my heart thumping in my chest painfully. Even though I'm glad that she can say things like that, they make me sad after all. Her spirit, her passion, her strength, all those things that I hold dear are the ones I don't want to change. How should I treat them? Where are they headed to? Is that future irrevocably different from mine? That anxiety will never lose its grip on my heart, but I think I can learn to live with it. Slowly the pain in my heart dies out and it settles in the same rhythm as Rin's. We listen to that for some time. After our lips break apart, it takes a while for either of us to realize that we can say something now. See? You're a really kind person even when you are not. It's the most scariest thing ever. I think all I was ever afraid of is your kindness. Is that bad, even if you're afraid? She thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as though this was some kind of hard math problem. No, I'm alright with it. It's fine if it's you. Like a weight lifted from my chest, her words elate my heart, filling it with, I don't know, happiness? What else could it be? This time my smile is genuine. Rin steps back, still smiling gently at me like I do at her. While she wipes her face on her shoulder, I pick up a round, plump dandelion clock. Is that what you call those? I bring it to my pursed lips. I spread out into the wind that picks them up to carry them to a new home. To think only a few short weeks ago they were so different. This is change. Hey, so the flowers became what they were meant to be, like you said the last time. What about you? Did you become a true artist, or did you not, because you ran away? She paused for a while to ponder my question, and shrugs her shoulders. It almost makes me laugh. The carefree easiness of her gesture is a lovely thing, a sign of how Rin can truly and really, without any restraints whatsoever, shed the entire weight of the world from her shoulders, should she will so. She is in every possible, and probably a few impossible ways, free. Now I think I might love her for that. I don't think it matters. Let's just watch the clouds for today. She takes 5 steps to climb on a large rock so she can rise as high as it's possible here and stands on tiptoes. When you reach for the clouds, every inch counts. Sure, let's watch the clouds. It's good to do something you really want to do every now and then. Yeah, you're probably right. I glance upwards at the blue sky opening high above us. It's a deep, cerulean vastness that spreads to fill my entire field of vision and beyond. Rin stays on a rock, peering at the distant horizon where the rain clouds are drifting further away from us. I've decided something. That dreaming voice of hers, spoken to the wind that carries it to my ears, is lacking resolve and tone, but is full of it in meaning. It's alright to be me after all. It's alright. Her decisions seem to be pretty far out. Well, I suppose that is an important realization. Coming to terms with oneself, accepting yourself, being fine with what you are. A simple resolution of heart that for some reason is overbearingly hard to do, if not impossible. I do realize well enough that I might also be one of those people. Rin too. Maybe we're not that different after all. Maybe to accept someone else you must first accept yourself. Maybe that is a necessary step which we didn't take until now. Looking at her standing on that rock, I believe that she can find whatever she is looking for. And so can I. The wind catches her hair and clothes, and Rin spreads her short arms into an embrace that is so very, very tiny, but as wide as she can ever do. For a moment it looks like she herself might take flight, and I have to hold myself back to not reach for her shoulder, to not drag her back to me. But this picture is something I can only watch. It is something for me to remember. Rin's sleeves are flapping freely in the wind, her hair wildly tousled by it, her skin touched by the setting sun. Her sleek form that I've come to adore is quivering in the cool wind that carries the small white specks past her, each the beginning of a new flower. All that is engraved inside my heart. Like those tiny seeds scattered into the wind, I'm sure that Rin too can take her place in this world without the need to create her own inside of it. Maybe she believes it too, and standing as close to heaven as possible, she is giving the world a big hug. To me, it seems like the entire world really could fit there between those small arms of hers inside of her all-encompassing embrace. Zhao? She looks at me in the same way she calls my name, carelessly over her shoulder, with a strange happiness in her voice and in her eyes. I gaze into those mysterious dark eyes that are curiously twinkling from below her auburn hair. Though I'm too far from her to see it, I'm sure they are reflecting my image. What is it? What's the word for when it feels inside your heart that everything in the world is alright? Skip. What's the skip button here for? Is it done? Oh, it's done. I guess I finished this route. I guess so. Which ending did I get? That didn't seem like a bad ending. Surprisingly, it didn't seem terrible. It didn't seem like a very particularly awesome ending either. Well, I guess I'll just let the credits roll and then see what it says after that. I'm gonna go for the other routes, however you pronounce it too. And if this isn't the true end, then I guess I'll go for that one before I go for the others. Alright, you gonna tell me which end this was? Oh. Oh, let's look at the gallery. Where is Rin's segment? There it is. Okay, yeah, we're still missing a bunch of things. Which end was that? I don't know which end that was. It didn't tell me. It didn't tell me. I'm gonna go look. Okay, well, I guess that's probably gonna be mostly it for the video, but I'm gonna go look at this, so if you want to hear me do this, then I guess, Rin Tezuka. Rin's route. A bad ending, which is this one. That didn't seem like the one I got. Stream. Which ending is this one? Good ending. Which ones are there? Good ending. Actually, I should go back to the top and see. Bad ending, good ending, and neutral ending. Okay, so which one did I get? I wish it told me. Oops. Went too far. Actually, I guess I can do this. Yeah, I guess I can do that. How does that even look? That looks fine, I guess. Do I have anything embarrassing open? No, I don't. Good. Wait a minute. Did I get the good ending? Did I just get the good ending? Oh. Did I miss one? Is there another ending that I may have missed. Oh, there's a branch thing here. Oh, actually, this shows like everyone's route. I think I don't want to look at that one. Where is Rin's route? Is that Rin's? Rin's path. There it is. Okay. Ah, jeez, just bring me to the right thing. Okay, well, actually, I can't really see anything. Is there any... Interesting. Interesting. Well, I think I got the good ending then. Because the neutral ending, that doesn't... Like, that's not what I got, is it? No, but I still missed a bunch of things, but that seemed like a pretty... It didn't seem terrible. Yeah, I guess you don't get to the... I don't think you get to Act 4 if you get the bad ending. Yeah, bad ending right there. But I got to Act 4, and I got the one that says that's under good ending, so I guess I got the good ending. That's... Like, I'm just in complete disbelief because I didn't think I did. I still feel like I did something wrong, but I guess I didn't. Okay, well, if that's the good end, then what am I going to do? I think I'll go for... Oh, whoops. What should I do next? I guess I'll record a little bit of that new Corpse Party fan game. It's only one chapter. It's a demo. I'll do that, and then I guess I'll come back to this and start up. I think I said I was going to do Lily's route. I think I told someone I was going to do that one because he wanted me to. Well, I guess it buffed out in the end. Strange. Very strange. I don't know, I just feel like I missed something. I really do. I really feel like I missed something. I'm just reading over it one more time. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Unless it's missing. Maybe it's missing something. Well, I guess that's going to be all then. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.